This video is brought to you by Ageless Geeks.
Cowabunga dudes and dudettes, this is Anthony, aka Batbomb82, and today I'll be doing a review of the Super7 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Ultimates Splinter. Now this is one I'm super stoked for as I absolutely love Master Splinter, and I cannot wait to check it out with you guys. But before we crack this thing open, I want to take a closer look at the packaging. Alright guys, so I wanted to show off the packaging here first because I love what Super7 does with these Ultimates figures. We got a sewer lid like we're seeing with all the figures from this Ninja Turtles line. We got an actual image of Splinter right there, and on the sides we got little bow and arrows like that, so that's really cool. It looks like we're going to get sewer lids for each individual figure, which is really nice, so I love that. And I'm probably not going to keep the boxes, but I definitely kind of want to just cut all these sewer lids out and have a collection of the sewer lids for every character, so I think it's cool, man, so definitely want to check that out. Splinter right there, Super7, rotate this around, just got the Ninja Turtles logo like that, done a nice ooze green box, and we can just slide the slip cover off like so, and check that out, man. There's our Splinter figure in a nice window box packaging, looking killer, looking oh so much like that vintage figure with lots of updates, of course. All the different accessories. I'm really happy with this. We got that same like brick layer pattern that we've seen with other figures like that. Bunch of graffiti all over there. Turn it around, same thing, got like a Ninja Turtle stamp like that, a little power source right there, all kinds of graffiti and things like that. Cowabunga, you can even see that in there too, so that's really cool. Super7, Nickelodeon, like that. Then we get a short little bio for Splinter right there, so if you want to read that, go ahead and pause it now. It says Splinter, the good guy leader, so that's really cool too. So I am so stoked to check these out. This is like the TMNT line I've been waiting my whole life for, so let's go ahead and crack this thing open and see what we have inside. Alright guys, now let's check out this Ultimate Splinter, and holy crap dude, this is scary like the original figure. Like it looks so good, it looks just like the vintage figure, yet very updated, and that's exactly what I wanted out of this line. And oh my god, this looks so good. So the figure itself looks fantastic. I love the texturing of the fur all over. If you look at even things like the wrappings around his legs, you can see that there's texture on that too. Even texturing on the wrapping of his tail, which looks really nice. So I love all that. Again, all the fur, his claws on the feet all look really good. The chest, the head sculpt looks amazing. Again, such a great update to that vintage figure. I really dig that. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going ahead and bring in that vintage figure right here, so you can see the similarities of things like the belt right there. Belt is exactly like that vintage figure, which looks really cool. You got the wrappings are on the feet like that, the tail with the gray. The head sculpt is just insanely, again, just like a great updated version of that vintage toy. What I do like, I'll try and show it off here. If you look at like just under the eye on the vintage figure, it has like this black like zigzag pattern, and you can kind of see it. Maybe if I darken up my camera a bit, you can see it more like that. You can kind of see that same black zigzag pattern underneath the eyes of the newer figure too, and it's just really cool. Again, a really good update of that vintage one. Just looks so nice, man. I really dig this. I'm in awe of these turtle figures so far. This is quickly becoming, even just from this first wave, one of my favorite toy lines because it's something I've just dreamt of since I was a kid, and it's finally here. So yeah, man, this is just really good looking. I am super happy to have this in my collection. Okay, let's talk accessories here. We do got a bunch of interchangeable hands. So we got a little more open palm hands with kind of like snarled fingers. We got things like gripping hands. We got closed fisted hands. Pretty much in like more like these straight up open fingered hands like this, which are really nice for, you'll see those pictures later on with all these kinds of hands and stuff like that. But they work very well just on a straight peg like that. And I've noticed what I do like is that how easy and how well they stay into the socket right there. Sometimes figures can be a little crappy when it comes to that. They come on a little too loose, come a little too tight, whatever it may be. Those work really, really good. So I really like what Super 7 is doing there. We also do get a bunch of weapons. So we got little throwing stars. We got 2 of these done in this really nice silver, which is really cool. We got his little walking stick, his little cane, which is really nice. And I love this because this is more like straight from the cartoon. The vintage figure didn't have like this kind of like little stick. So that's really nice too. And it doesn't really, like, you can grip it in the gripping hand. But like if you're going to pose him when standing, you're more or less going to want like this snarled hand and kind of have it just like resting like that on the floor. Again, you'll see pictures later on, so you know what I'm talking about. So that's pretty much how you're going to use that, I think. What's also really cool, we do get this stick right here, which is came with the vintage figure. Now this one is awesome, has nice wood grain. If you pull it out, you got the little bladed weapon like that, which is really cool. So I dig this, man. That is straight from the vintage figure like that. So you have a little bit of a wash in there too, which is really nice. So I dig that a lot. And I don't know about you guys, but how I used to use this weapon on the vintage figure, I used to actually hold it like this underneath like that, so you would come across and just slash at people, you know what I mean? So I don't know if people carried it like a gun almost, you know what I mean, like that doesn't look right to me. Or you can like carry it like a sword, maybe something like that. You could do that too. Again, I did it that first way. It just felt right to me. So, but again, that's really cool how they did that. Again, just like that vintage figure, man, that was fantastic. We also do get a bow, again, just like the vintage figure. This thing looks really nice. Again, all that wood grain with that dry brushing in there. The handle wrapped with the little silver studs. We get an actual string, so that's really cool. And then we actually get 3 arrows this time. Whereas the vintage figure, the arrow was attached to the bow. We got 3 arrows, again, the same brown with that wash. Nice silver tip like that, looking really nice. So that's really cool. And again, you'll see more poses like that later on. Let's see here. We also do get, I'll show this off next. We got the tree or the weapons rack with those same weapons I just showed off right now, but casted in that original like orangish brown color like the vintage figure, which is really nice. You can have all these weapons. You can cut these out if you want to. I'm personally not going to do that because I just want to display them with these like this. But again, the stars, the bow, the arrow, or not the bow, the arrows, his little bladed weapon like that. I think it's so cool how they did that. So very nice touch there. Very nice touch. I really like this a lot. So some of the other things that we do get, we get a cup of tea. Now I love this. Again, this is more stuff not based on the vintage figure, but more of like things like something you would see on a cartoon. A nice little mug with a little steam coming off. I think that's such a cool looking effect. Love how they did this. And again, you'll see pictures later on. We also do get a baby turtle. How fantastic is this? I really dig this one. I don't know if this is supposed to be one of the actual Ninja Turtles. So if it is, I'm hoping in the future we get other baby turtles so we can at least have 4. Maybe, you know, another baby turtle with like maybe April O'Neil or something like that, and then another one with another character and so forth. So we collect all 4 baby turtles. I think that would be really cool. So I love that. No articulation on this, a little sculpt like that, little orange and yellow under the underbelly. I really dig this, man. I love little things like this. I think really help the designs of these characters look really, really nice. So very cool. One other thing that we do get here, of course, we get his robe like this, sculpted plastic, again, make it look like a vintage belt and things like that. We also do get a soft goods coat like this, which I probably prefer. So I'm gonna go ahead and just, you know, get him naked like this. So you'll have to excuse me. Just pull the arms back, pull this off like so, and then you can see a naked Splinter. Yep. So this is pretty funny because like even this just totally reminds me of that vintage toy, especially if you go on eBay. Like how many times do you see like naked Splinter figures from that vintage line? You know what I mean? So that kind of reminds me of that. So we go ahead and put this one on here. Let's see if I remember how to do this. So just slide this back like that, and then like this, and then you could just put the arms up right here, and then kind of wrap that around here. And we also do get a like rubber belt like this. So I'm trying to see if I can remember how to do this. I think and it stretches pretty good like this. I think this is gonna be really tricky to do on camera, so I don't even know why I'm doing it on camera. I kind of get it around the feet like that. This is so hard. I don't even know why I'm showing you guys this. Just put it on like there. I could have done this off camera like that, like there. That's pretty good. Let me see that. Line that up real nice for you. And I'm pretty sure I just did this upside down. No, did I upside down? I don't think there is an upside down. Let me see here. I'm sorry. I'm just totally taking my time and messing around at this point. So that works pretty good. So you guys get the drift. So there you go. Let's see here. Pull this down a little bit. There's a little cutout area for the tail to stick on the back, so that looks really nice. So boom, you could have something more like this if you wanted to. Again, now I'm a sucker for soft goods, clothing and capes and cloaks and all that kind of stuff. So I like this probably a little more. But at the same time, you got this more updated belt, whereas this one has the more traditional looking belt like the vintage figures. So I could really see where people would go either way with this, since you have both versions. I can totally see probably more people going with this sculpted one with that, vintage style belt. For me, I probably like this one a little more just because I think it looks cool, man. I don't know what it is about soft goods. I just think it looks better. So either way, you got a ton of great stuff with this. I'm trying to make sure I got everything. Yeah, we got everything here. So lots of cool stuff with this Splinter. And again, really like the soft goods robe here. All right, now I'm going to show you articulation with the soft goods robe on here. So the head is on a ball peg at the top here. Since it has this hunched over back neck here, right here, it's not going to move around as much as I would like. I wish there was a separate neck piece where you could just turn this whole neck collar area. That would have been better. But since it's on a ball peg, it kind of has that tilt rotation to it. I'm not a big fan of that. I wish we could get more head movement out of this figure, man. That's going to be one of my personal biggest issues. But I mean, if you could deal with it, it's not that big a deal, I guess, to you. But for me, I just wish there was a little more there. So not a whole lot of motion. Arms can go full 360, up and out that far, rotation at the shoulder, a single bend at the elbow. Oops, this is backwards. Single bend at the elbow, rotation at the elbow, rotation at the wrist, as well as a hinge at the wrist. I will also say that the wrist joints are a little loosey-goosey on this one. Not terrible, not like the Baxter one I reviewed, but this one's a little loose, so hopefully that doesn't get worse over time. We do get a ball peg at the midsection, so that rolls around, does turn left and right, crunches back and forth a tiny bit, pivots a tiny bit. Hip joints that kick forward that far, actually up and out that far, so that's actually really good. Back about that much, splits all the way out in there. Let's see, no rotation at there. We got a single bend at the knee as well as rotation at the knee. Ankle joints go all the way up, down, and if you can rotate them, and you can actually position them to rock a certain way, so it's all about how you just work those joints, so that's really nice. And then the tail itself is on a ball hinge like this, so it swivels, rotates, hinges up and down, as well as this gray section. This rotates like this, and I thought this was going to be on a bendy wire. It's not, so that's just one solid piece that does rotate. It's on a little ball peg, so you can move it around a little bit, so that's really cool too. So overall, I'm so happy with this. I really, really am. These Super 7 figures are going to have some issues here and there from what I'm seeing. And they're going to be, for the most part, pretty minor. I think probably the worst things I'm going to see is loose joints here and there. Hopefully they fix that over time, because I have other Super 7 figures that don't have that problem. So I'm hoping, again, they fix this and get better and better with over time, because I'm really legit all in with these TMNT figures that we're getting from them. They're my perfect TMNT toy line. That's exactly what I've wanted for so many years, and we're finally getting him. And this Splinter is definitely a great piece for your collection. So for a quick size comparison, here he is standing next to a Marvel Legends Deadpool and NECA Batman figure. Also for comparison, here he is standing next to the vintage Splinter from Playmates. And for even more comparison, here he is standing next to the movie Splinter from NECA. And just for fun, here he is with little Lego Bat Bomb. So there it is, guys, my review of the Ultimate Splinter. Now overall, I think this is a really fun figure, and it's crazy how much it reminds me of that vintage toy. I have lots of great memories of that old TMNT toy line, and this new one from Super7 really is giving me the nerd feels. This Splinter is practically perfect. It is such a great throwback with a lot of cool updates. I personally love the soft goods Robe, and all his weapons are super well done. Now, probably my biggest issues are going to be the wrist being a little loose and that head sculpt not quite being able to turn the way I want it to. But that aside, he is such a great figure. I absolutely love this whole look and everything that Super7 is doing with the TMNT line. And again, he's just so much fun. I can't express that enough. He's just such a rad toy, and I think he would look awesome in all of your collections. So please comment, like, and subscribe. Stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.